Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing, beautiful viewers. Today's reading is a little difficult for me. I started and I couldn't quite continue. So I put your cards aside and now I'm back. I'm back to do the reading. And so this is a pick a card reading. I've pre-shuffled the oracle cards for each of these piles. Okay, the piles we're about to pick, and you're going to use your intuition to pull you into one of these cards. This is sort of bridging the gap between where you're at in your ascension journey, your spiritual journey, enlightenment journey, or wherever you're at, and sort of helping to ease the gap between where you're supposed to be going. I use it loosely, okay? You're exactly where you need to be, although this is intended to help you to heal, to make things a little easier for yourself, and maybe provide you with some insight, some healing, some reflection, some clarity. And sometimes healing doesn't feel good, okay? So I'm here committed to this reading, and I want to communicate whatever messages pulls through here, regardless of what this message is. So that's what I intend to do. All right, so for those of you guys new to a pick a card, we're going to reveal these shortly. 1, 2, 3. If at any point you're pulled to any one of these cards, I will put the timestamp in the description box, and in the pinned comment below, it will take you directly to the pick. And if you're pulled to multiple cards, piles, that's absolutely fine. Okay, just use your intuition. It could be multiple aspects. This is energy in regards to your journey and your ascension, and navigating through bridging the gap between where you're at and where you're supposed to be going. Okay, so let's reveal these cards and see what we have here, beautiful people. All right, so option 1, we have the 7 of Earth, which is 7 Pentacles, and it says investment, assessment, and patience. Option number 2, we have the Chariot, willpower, victory, and recognition. Option number 3, we have the 6 of Fire, which is 6 Wands, success, recognition, and self-esteem. Okay, beautiful people. I will move this over here so it's not distracting. And I will leave the video running for a bit. When you're ready and tapped into the energy of the pile or the pick, then feel free to select your option, and I will see you at your timestamp. Hello, hello, pile 1. You guys picked the 7 of Earth, 7 Pentacles, investment, assessment, and patience. What's this reading about? Well, this reading is sort of bridging the gap between where you're at and where you're headed in your ascension journey. Okay, so it's to provide healing, clarity, reflection, guidance. Potentially you might feel stuck or just want confirmation, or you're not quite sure. But either which way, this is a message direct from Spirit coming through with the pre-shuffled oracle cards that I've not looked at. In fact, if you listen to the intro, I started, and then this is the first reading I ever had. I couldn't finish, meaning I couldn't record right away. So I took a little bit of a break. Now I'm back, and we pulled these, the pick cards, okay, and your card was this 7 of Earth. So I feel like there's something you've been at, obviously, for quite some time with the 7 Pentacles. Traditional meaning, we've been tending the garden. We've been tending to this thing for quite some time. And with the 7 of Pentacles, we generally feel like giving up because it's taking too long and we haven't seen any results. Okay, but in this depiction, we see that there are already pentacles on this tree. And we have patience here. Okay, and we see the angel, which is temperance energy. So I am getting Sagittarius from this for confirmation. And the temperance is all about patience. Okay, it's all about patience, healing, And so I feel like something is ready, but I feel like I'm not sure you want it anymore. You know, I feel like you're reflecting or second guessing, or you could be imagining like if this thing comes to fruition or is ready, I don't know that that it is worth my effort. Like it seems like the effort here and the time invested might be might not be worth the reward, is maybe what you're thinking here. Okay, interesting energy. Let's see what the messaging is here. Okay, so we have action. Interesting, because this gives me Chariot energy, which was the pick for the second option with the 2 horses. And then we have the dark and the light. It says action. So 17 is star energy. Yes, so star energy is about our wishes, but it's also healing. So I feel like there's something about healing pulling through here. And balance, because the temperance and the chariot is all about balance. But we have action. And action is sort of the opposite of earth energy. You know, action, I'm getting wands. And earth is more grounded and solid. There's a balance between should I take action? Yeah, should I take action? Okay, let's keep going. Empowerment, 26, or the number 8. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in a deep trust that we all are connected through the same source. 8. So 8 is the star energy again. Movement. Change. It's also about attainment, which I was getting like, now do we attain what the harvest here? Okay, so we have lots of sort of confirmation through all 3 of these. So we have the Merkaba with 32, or the number 5. Frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. So grounding something, bringing something in by taking action on something here. Okay. Surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Well, that's interesting, because I was sensing a lot of energy exerted into something here, and now there is frustration with seeing what could manifest because it's there. But do I want this? Like, yeah, do I want this? Feel you're second guessing something. Surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. That's beautiful. And we have celebration, number 3. This is definitely giving me 3 of Cups energy. Network of friends, celebrating. Okay. Safe travel. And we have the tidal wave here. And I don't know if that's a dove. It could certainly be a dove. Doves are about peace. Birds are about communication as well. And people. Safe travel. Okay. Well, I was talking about traveling to other dimensions, but action, like literal travel. Like this is going by horseback. This is by air. And this is by water. Earth, air, water. And we were getting fire, because I was getting fire with the action. So now we're seeing all the elements. This reading is interesting, you guys. Okay, so Liberation 37, or the number 10. Bharava Madura. Sorry, Mudra. A difficult time reading. So we have the crown chakra energy here. 37, or the number 10. Okay, so it says, assists in unity, freedom, and liberation. I honor the innate, wow, I can't read. I honor the innate union of consciousness and bliss. The benefits: assists all systems of the body, supports inner stillness and courage, releases fears. Unity, freedom, and liberation. Okay. Horses are running free. Dancer of joy. Look at that celebration. Wow. You guys. Shaman of sorrows. Oh, so this is complete opposite of this. We have joy and sorrow. The white and the dark. The light and the dark. Joy and sorrow. Liberation. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Stand your ground. Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. I was feeling a very grounded energy from this Seven of Pentacles. Stay connected. And we are all born connected to spirit, often known as the divine source. Yet many of us have a tendency to pull away from that connection as we journey through life in the physical world. Now is an important time to reconnect to source. We have the light and the dark. The two hands. Stay connected. And we have power struggle. You may be involved in a power struggle between two or more people. I'm feeling people with the bird. 41, or the number 5, and 5 pulled through with the Merkaba. 5 is about conflict, change, and rebuilding. It's also temperance energy, which we saw there. So I don't know what this message is, you guys. Let me sit with this energy for a little bit, and then I will channel, and we will most likely pull some tarot to get some more insight. So you guys can skip ahead. Okay. I feel like there is a part in your journey here that is causing frustration, and I have a feeling it's through a connection with someone that's not working. So it's bringing about a lot of sorrow. You know, it has a lot of heaviness here, but it also has its joy. But I feel like we're not sure if the joy outweighs the sorrow and the pain. So I feel like you're certainly on a path of healing and integrating some of this pain that you've experienced with this 3D lesson, if you will, with someone. Okay, it could be we got into an argument or words were said. I feel like emotions are high. I feel like we aren't quite sure maybe how our next move or what we're supposed to do. You know, like, am I supposed to stand my ground? Am I supposed to be more flexible? Is there more here action I'm supposed to sort of take? Because I feel like Peace is important. You want peace with this person, but you don't want to just peace just for the sake of selling yourself out in any way. Like, you also want to be free with this liberation, and you want to do the highest thing for your spirituality, like what you're called to do here. So I feel like what Spirit is showing is that this experience, although very unpleasant, is one that is has to run its course. But for you to allow yourself to remain in your position of what it is you're truly feeling inside, without being swayed by what someone else is trying to tell you, or convince yourself out of some sort of understanding you have. Because I feel like you are putting energy towards what you want. Okay, so I think you already know what it is you want. You've been putting energy towards this, but there's this hiccup now. You know, and this hiccup is like, should I scrap my whole vision? You know, like, should I just bend to the will of this hiccup or this experience here, which has been very frustrating, is showing me or dictating to me just to surrender and never mind, you know, like, never mind this this thing that I was building or investing in. And Spirit is saying, allow yourself to accept that this frustration is part of the journey. Stay connected to Spirit in a way here that allows yourself to trust your ability to hold firm in your position. Okay, like do not waver from your belief in your position, but there is no need for you to push it onto anyone, or like force it. Like, just remain in an energy of understanding your position very well. As my cat scratches, confirming what I'm saying. So this is the true empowerment. So I feel like the journey here is one, first, that's very spiritual, because we're tapping into the spiritual space, okay, of you coming into balance with that energy and understanding that side, and then grounding it here in the 3D, which is everything sort of coming into balance for yourself. But it takes you really being focused and accepting that this experience you had here is all part of this journey. Like, don't let it throw you off course. Don't let it sway you. Okay, because I feel like we might start to think, well, what's best for I don't know, the immediacy of the situation, or what is it that this person I am dealing with here is trying to convince me of, or wants me to do, or, you know, it's more this sort of immediate versus what you've been investing in with the long term. And so the long term supersedes, and I feel like this process is providing healing to you, because once you go through this process, you've already laid the foundation here to whatever it is that you're trying to manifest or produce. And so we sort of experience the sorrow, we experience the frustration, we experience having to have the patience, sitting through the healing, tapping into the divine here through trust and through understanding, sitting with deep emotions and just accepting it as it is, everything as it is, without taking any sort of action, but remaining very grounded in what we feel. And that this will allow things to start moving forward in whatever the situation is here, and it'll allow you freedom. Okay, freedom from feeling like you're at the mercy of having to I don't know, bend to someone else's will or do something against what what you maybe intuitively know is your path. So you stand firm, and I feel like this brings joy and celebration, reconciliation. I feel this is like a coming together that is required without you sort of moving towards it, if that makes sense. You don't need to move, okay? But this safe travel, I feel like, is you being immersed in the experience of what happened here and have an acceptance of what this is. But don't attribute any mind to it. Like, don't make a story like this happened because of this happened, so therefore I need to act. This happened just because it happened. You're needing to just sit with that energy, okay? The energy of the experience, the argument, the whatever was done, the high emotions. And I feel like the only place you can really connect with and tap into is the divine, and remain unwavering in your position in the 3D, okay? Because I feel like you've put in a lot of time here into something, and now it's like I said, like, do I just scrap and move away? Like, I don't want to deal with more frustration. I don't want to feel like I'm in a power struggle or stuck or not free, and sadness and all this stuff is very heavy, very, very heavy. But Spirit is showing it's heavy for a reason. It's heavy in order to allow you the liberation and the peace, for there to be joy and celebration and a coming together here, okay? For you to get empowered by standing your ground and remaining firm in what you've sort of built, because this is showing your patience and your ability to integrate uncomfortable energy into workable energy for things to be successful, for you to be balanced. So I feel like it's asking you to be still. And we might want to do something, like I said, in the highest. Like, we want to take action in the light, you know, like, Spirit, show me, you know, the best way sort of in the light, or the best way possible, or action I can take. And Spirit is saying the best thing you can do is be still. The best thing you can do is allow yourself to feel what's going on right now in this moment. And understand that it could be you're experiencing this power struggle between you and the situation and this person. And that's all it really is. But it doesn't require you to do anything different. It just requires you to stay truthful to your conviction. You know, like, don't bend or compromise in a way here that sells yourself out. So it is a healing. Yeah, so the Knight of Swords is in reverse. This is giving me a stillness. Like, there's nothing to confront. Like, don't get fed into someone's argument, someone's confrontation. Someone wants to have a battle of wits with you, or I don't know, a back and forth. There's no need. There's just stillness. Retreat. Page of Pentacles. And this is the new opportunity that is formed. Okay, I'm seeing the sun in the background. So we get clarity. We get enlightened through our retreating. Us not engaging. We can see clearly. And we manifest something different. There's the 8 swords. So we have to go through this process. 8 swords is where we have a mental prison going on. We have our thoughts. We have beliefs that are limiting us. We might have fears. And so this energy is one that we need to identify in ourselves. And the only way we can do this is by being still. By shining the light on any sort of thoughts or beliefs that make us feel held hostage. And this isn't created by anyone else but ourselves. Okay, it could be that someone has convinced us of this, but you have the key to release you from any sort of 8 swords. So there's the 8 pentacles, which is all about doing the work, okay? This is dedication, commitment, having what it takes. I feel like it's telling you, like, the work here is retreating. The work here is not confronting, not combating. There's the 10 Pentacles in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse. I feel like we're needing to allow things to sort of fall. If we're still, things will fall, okay, with this 10 Pentacles in reverse. Because 10 Pentacles in reverse, I feel like potentially we have a understanding here with the 8 Swords that our involvement in holding something up or some sort of plan here for the future would require us doing something here. And it really doesn't. It requires a new beginning. It only requires a new beginning once we can see and break out of our 8 Swords. But if we're in 8 Swords, we continue to be sort of stuck in a thing that doesn't have longevity. And because I'm seeing the King of Cups, it could be somebody we love, you know, with the King of Cups. But it's like, it's not sustainable here. You know, like the King of Cups in reverse could be emotionally unavailable and nothing gets built. Unreliable thing. It has no longevity. And here I feel suffering. Like I'm hearing suffering. You know, this could be family problems. Like this is like suffering. So I feel like the energy is in retreat. The energy is in stillness. But we need to deal with our 8 Swords, which I feel is how we're working on this thing. Yeah, the truth. The truth will set you out of any 8 Swords and will allow there to be a new beginning. A new beginning with the Ace of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, but pages are about communication, and same with the Ace of Swords. So I feel like the only time we should start to have the communication is when we're out of our 8 Swords. When we identify the situation here that's limiting and understand that it's not us that's limited, it's this situation. We're not limited, we're free. Once we see that we're free, then we can have a proper communication. And I think this is the new beginning, is the communication we have after we're freed from this 8 Swords. Okay, but the only work you're required to do here is the retreat, the stillness, not engage. Do not go back and forth. Do not try to prove your point here with this power struggle. So let's see. 3 cards for clarity here for pile 1. 5 Swords. Yeah, like we're dealing with people here who maybe the ends justify the means. You know, no one wins. It's sabotage. Hermit. This is the stillness. And there's the new beginning. The only way to have a new beginning here is to not carry any baggage at all. But in order to do this, we must reflect. We must get still. Regardless of what someone's doing over here. And the Queen of Cups. So now we have the King and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So we cannot pour into a situation here. I think that's been, like I said, the emotions here with the tidal wave. I feel like there's been a situation where we're overly emotional about, you know, overly emotional, overly connected to by our emotions, which is driving maybe the heated back and forth through this power struggle. So we're seeing it more through our emotions than we are seeing it through clarity of mind. And the clarity of mind comes when we get still. Okay, when we could come forward baggage free and ready. Okay, like this Fool is just sort of, he's not going to get into any sort of 5 Swords of his own accord. Okay, so I feel Spirit is saying this is what will diffuse any power struggle. So I want to see what's let's ask Spirit then, where does this lead? Like, Where does this lead to for you? What can you look forward to here if you find stillness here and remain grounded? Do some hermit work, which is really being honest with self, not involving someone else's sort of opinions get in the way or any thoughts getting in the way. So 9 cups, a Tower in reverse, the Knight of Wands, 5 cups. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. What can pile 1 expect if they withdraw in this situation? So we have 9 swords in reverse. Why is the Tower in reverse here, Spirit? So we have 2 9s. 9s are hermit energy. 4 of cups in reverse. Why is this Knight of Wands here? 8 wands. More communication. That's a breakthrough. So why is the 5 cups here? The Knight of Cups. And 1 more. And the 10 wands in reverse. Okay. And the Emperor. Empowerment. Aries energy. And Devil, Capricorn. I think you're going through a temporary thing, although much needed in your journey here. Okay? Because I feel this provides you healing and it provides balance in a situation here, but it also provides you balance in learning how to liberate yourself from situations that it might make you feel like other people have control over you. So you do get your power back here, okay? But I feel like a situation had a hold on you with the Devil. You know, this is toxic. It's toxic because, you know, we feel there's no escape, but really it's, you know, if we're overly emotionally tied and giving to something, we've invested in something that's like, how do I get empowered to make a different decision? So Spirit is saying stillness, hermit work, like you're going to find emotional fulfillment here when you get out of your own mind. Okay. And so if there's towers falling, allow towers to fall. Okay. And one of the towers here is, potentially something that has already fallen. And so the ramifications have already happened. Okay, have already happened. I don't feel like this is going to be impacting you in a way that's earth-shattering. It's like allowing yourself, like I said, that's 10 pentacles I was seeing in reverse, to accept, you know, the thing that's not working. And so I feel like, yeah, like there's an energy here that you've been in that I feel has been not doing it for you emotionally. And we have to allow that to be a thing, like that it wasn't emotionally fulfilling. Allow that situation to sort of unfold, you know, and I feel like through experiencing this and allowing it to be what it is without getting in our mind, and then we can move forward here. Okay, we can communicate more clearly, like we said. Now the communication here is from a place that isn't driven by any sort of agenda. We're now emotionally fulfilled, so we're not driven by our emotions that are charged from this Tower situation. Okay, and I feel like whoever it is that we're engaged with, which I feel is a King of Cups in reverse, is coming through as an energy here of somebody who's looking back on their 5 swords. And like actually like feeling regret, feeling sadness about being 5 swords. Okay, so this is like feeling sorry. And so being able to express. And it's like we can't carry the burden of what was going on in the past. I can't remain in this power struggle. I have to do the stand-up thing here. I got to release myself from devil ways, you know, back and forth, bickering, 5 swords. That's the devil. 8 swords is also devil energy. And express myself from the heart space. You know, a reverse King of Cups is now in this Knight of Cups, able to express, show love. Can't no more carry the burden here. Okay, but I feel like this energy that I'm tapped into here comes through when you reach your 9 cups. And the only way to reach the 9 cups is no longer in mind. Allowing our disappointment to sort of be your disappointment. Sitting with that and saying that's the worst of it. Like nothing else is going to fall for me. You know, like fall here in my world. Like I embrace and accept what's fallen here. It doesn't work. Like it doesn't work the way it is. So I'm glad it's sort of, falling away here. I don't need to pursue this thing. What I need to do is move forward, because pursuing a tower will only create you to be 5 cups continuously, or experience a 5 cups in your world. You don't want to pursue any towers, okay? What you want to pursue is forward movement here, clear communication, have a breakthrough in your situation. But you can't control anyone else. All you can do is kind of divert your energy in a different way. And so once your energy is different here, it's no longer in 4-cup situation. It allows towers to fall. It's getting out of mind. It has a sense of emotional fulfillment with itself. Okay, this is you, yourself, needing nothing or no one or any situation to prop you up in any sort of way. And then the energy breaks free here of somebody clearly seeing their bad behaviors, clearly seeing what didn't work, and saying, I can't continue to be in this sort of an energy that's not really easy to carry here. So yeah, and get out of 8 swords. So the answer for you is to get out of your mind, your 8 swords, your disappointment, and trying to chase it, to do anything about it, to take action on it, to do communication on it, to ask source for what's the best thing for you to engage. The best thing for you to engage is pull away, stillness, allow what's happened, marinate in that sort of energy. You'll get to a point of 9 cups, which is your own emotional fulfillment, knowing that you are detached and pulled away and out of any sort of disappointing situation. No matter how much emotions you sort of poured into it at one point, you don't want to remain in this energy. You want to move forward. Okay, regardless what's happened, your true desire is to move forward so you can be free. And this is how you do this. Okay, I hope this made sense for you guys. I know it's definitely not everyone's situation, but it is talking about a 3D connected to your 5D, because your 5D and your ascension here is about finding balance and healing through a challenging situation that maybe in the past was keeping you feeling devil, very stuck, not free, very frustrated, unable to, I don't know, like find peace here, and stand up for yourself. Okay, so I do feel there's resolution here for the best. So this is what I have, pile 1. I hope this helped. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. You guys picked the Chariot, Cancer energy. It says willpower, victory, and recognition. So we're going to tap into this energy right away, and we're looking at your journey. Okay, this is your journey to ascension. Maybe you're on the path of enlightenment. You're on a journey here, okay? And you might feel like, am I doing the right thing? Should I be focused on something else? Is there anything different I'm supposed to be doing? How do I overcome any sort of obstacles that I might be challenged with right now? Okay, so this is the type of message that's going to pull through here of what you're needing to know in regards to where you're at with your journey and where you kind of should be pointing your nose or dealing with in order for you to get moving. Okay, I say should lightly. Of course, you're on your path where you should be, exactly, and things will unfold as they should, although you're here for a reason. So maybe it's time for you to hear whatever this is so that you can take any sort of action if you might need to take action. Okay, maybe there is no action, although the Chariot is all about forward movement, but it's the universe sort of pulling us through here. Okay, all we need to do is remain in a balanced energy to stay upright, because we could topple if we're not balanced, as things are moving, because things are moving here with the Chariot. So yeah, like Chariot is a very good energy because it's about victory, which is interesting because pile 3 got the 6 of Wands, which is also has the same sort of meaning, victory. Okay, but Chariot is major arcana, which means this is divinely guided by the universe. Like the universe is pulling you through something right here, okay? And I feel like your only job right now is to remain balanced. How do we remain upright? If the universe starts moving us too quickly, it starts to maybe get us off balance, or maybe we don't know the direction in which this Chariot is going and it's just moving. So it's like, do I get off? Like, where am I going? So a lot of questions here, I feel, you know. So we see the dark and the light, says willpower, victory, recognition. And before you even tap in here, like I feel with all this yellow, certainly getting the willpower from the solar plexus, you know, the willpower, like our conviction, like how committed, dedicated we can stay to certain things, you know, like, yeah, if we're looking at, I don't know, like taking classes, being committed to our spiritual practice, or giving up addictions, or like being confident within ourselves, like this is all in the solar plexus energy, you know. And solar plexus could even be tied to, like the best way to describe it is like, let's say politicians, you know, it's like when they engage, it could be the them that they want you to see. It's like the person you sort of create and show to the world. And so if we're not authentic, if we're not blockage free, what's the face that we have on here? You know, does it match our authentic self? Okay, that's a lot of information. Let's take a look at these pre-shuffled oracle cards. Like I say, use your own intuition. What you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this message makes right for you. If it feels right for you, okay? I know this isn't everyone's reading, and that's absolutely fine. All right, so we have blossoming abundance with the number 3. Blossoming abundance. Looks very serene. Okay, and blossoming abundance is like this looks like it's a wild garden. Like nobody needed to go there to sort of do anything. It was just growing. Like flowers are growing, grass is growing, the pond's there. Like this is a natural sort of habitat. And like I said, the chariot's just moving. Okay, it's naturally. There's nothing really being done here, and there is beautiful abundance. So 39 with 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Okay, this is the throat chakra, which is our authentic self-expression, which was pulling through the end here. And I said the solar plexus, because how are we expressing ourselves? How are we communicating? Compassion, 15. Okay, 15 is the devil in the tarot. Capricorn energy. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Wow, isn't that powerful? Very powerful. Okay, and then we have discernment with 20. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. Wow, that's quite the juggling act here. Okay, surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within you. Silence can heal and replenish you. This almost seems to be the opposite of communication. Surrender to silence, okay? Mind, and courage. Beautiful flowers. Looks like the same flowers that we got growing here in the wildlands. So this is 8. 8 is the strength card in the tarot. Leo energy pulling through. We have confidence. Yeah, we were feeling that with the solar plexus. So now we have the strength, the confidence, the solar plexus, which says Manipura. We have a bumblebee here and a crown. So vitality, determination, conscious action, and divine will. Conscious action. Divine will, yes, totally with the chariot. So this is divine will. Okay, so we have the journeyer. Could certainly be the chariot. Spirit of truth. Well, that's coming through with the throat chakra. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. and support. People come into your life for many different reasons. Some you learn from, and then they move on, while others return often because you need to learn more from those individuals. Others remain beside you throughout your entire life. Wow. Very interesting. And then here we have a child's love. Love between a parent and a child is one of the most precious and deep connections we make during our time on earth. Children start out as part of us, and from their first cries, they establish themselves as the biggest part of our hearts. We have compassion. Spiritual gifts. You are on the process of developing and fine-tuning your spiritual gifts. Wow. Okay. There's lots going on here, you guys. Let me sit with this energy before I pull the tarot. You guys can skip ahead if you want and see what's coming through. Okay. It's so interesting how these readings are sort of tied to the 5D and the 3D, bringing it into your situation as well. Because I feel like there is something spiritual here at the same time. You're dealing with something in the 3D. And I feel like what you're needing here is some sort of confirmation, you know, like building up your confidence in what it is that you're doing here. Because I think you could get in your mind about it, which is normal, you know, like... So when we start getting in our mind about it, starts to impact our confidence and our ability to keep the momentum going. Because I feel like your momentum here on this journey was happening. Like it's just happening here at the Chariot. But we can start to question, you know, we can start to question like, I could see what's happening. And some of this I have no control over what's happening. But I also know that I could do certain things. I could say certain things. I could, you know, like I could get involved here. But we could start playing tricks on ourselves, because we could say, if I just allow myself to kind of get pushed by the universe here, yes, it could be leading to a road of abundance, but should I be more discerning? Should I be sort of putting brakes on here wherever opportunity I can? Am I confident in the direction I'm going? Because I don't know whether I'm just supposed to blindly sort of trust and go, or if I'm supposed to be doing more, saying more. Okay, but I feel like you're on a journey. And I feel like whatever's unfolding is exactly as it should be. So there's confirmation that as people are coming in, there is no need to attach or resist or do anything except for observe and give love from a heart space. Okay, so we're not attaching ourselves to any sort of idea of the mind. People will come and go as they're supposed to in this journey, because we're in a journey here. And this is one of learning compassion, love, and not just regular love. This is like love you would have for a child. It doesn't come with any sort of limitation, you know, or any expectation. You know, the child needs to eat its broccoli first before I can love it or give it attention. You know, so we can say, well, this person should know better because they're older or something. You know, that's coming from the mind. So when we look at everyone like being an extension of us, especially if we connect with them as being a child, we're able to come from a place of compassion and love. So we're learning this on our journey. It takes a lot of courage when the environment is barren here to still be able to grow anything of abundance. To have, you know, any sort of fruit in this barren land would require one ingredient, and this is unconditional love from a heart space. But we don't tie it back to self. Okay, so the mind likes to do this. So it likes to tie love, and then it likes to tie it back to a story. You know, like there's more story here, but there is no more story here. There could be more journeying with this person or this experience as it unfolds. But what Spirit really wants you to do is have confidence in yourself to allow things to be unfolding as it does. And this doesn't require you to have to be or say anything to either change it or save it, if that makes any sense. Like there's no massaging of the situation that's going to make it better or create some different sort of outcome. There's just you being in your complete truth when it's time for you to speak and act, but you don't got to get out of your way. Like go out of your way. You're already on this path, this journey. Like the universe is bringing you through this. The only thing here I feel is you might be running out of confidence or your own willpower to continue in this energy because it feels foreign to you. Like it feels foreign to continuously sort of be in an energy of giving love endlessly here in some way. But it's not committing ourselves from some sort of fear-based love, which I talk about a lot in this channel. This is just moving on our journey. We're not attached or following any sort of person or thing. We're letting it be as it is. But if it is in front of us in our path, we only show compassion here and kindness and true love as we would for a child. This is the discernment of the heart. Okay, because this is a balanced discernment. Once we start getting into the mind and we start doubting, we're out of balance. We're letting ego get in there, or start getting into fear. And then we can't create because it's too cold of an environment or the situation isn't fertile. So you're creating this natural, beautiful abundance here, naturally, regardless of what the environment is here, just by doing this. Okay, if we start to deviate, go in mind, start to doubt, am I supposed to say more, do more, you know, and then we start to get off kilter here. And so, yes, we could be truthful. Yes, we need to be authentic in our expression. But I feel like we're not needing to chase or get off the path here in any way. We just need to be confident when it is time for us to speak and act that it is us acting in the highest good here, as long as it's coming from compassion and love. So I feel like this spiritual gifts that you're in the process of developing is your ability to connect to your heart space. And I feel like your energy, if we're talking about ascension, is going from this bridge between the solar plexus and this throat chakra. So what's in the middle is the heart. It connects these two. Okay, and so blocks are only housed in the lower three chakras. The traumas, the doubt. Okay, so there's no blocks when it comes to the upper chakras. Even there's no block in the heart. Okay, I know we hear sometimes a blocked heart or a blocked throat. It's not really, I mean, it's a saying, but you can't have a block in your upper higher chakras. The energy blocks are only in the lower three. And so I feel like you're clearing your blocks. And once you tap into this heart space, okay, we're going from solar plexus sort of energy here, which is actually already quite ascended, okay, because not a lot of people are even in their solar plexus, and they're still, you know, asleep and dealing with more primal type stuff. But I feel like you are ascending here, but you're going from this solar plexus to this graduating to your higher chakras here. Okay, and once we tap into our higher chakras, this is where our spiritual gifts come in. Our third eye starts to open, we start getting downloads, okay, and the authentic self starts coming out. Okay, we start to allow our authenticity to come out. It's no longer the identity we created when we were in Matrix. Okay, but I feel like the graduation has to be this heart opening here. And how is the heart opening? It is through compassion, kindness, and acts of service to others without any expectation. Okay, always, how can I be loving? How can I be of service? How can I give in the situation? If I feel I'm missing something, that means I'm not giving it. If I feel I'm lacking love, that means I'm not giving love. Okay, so this is the type of energy you're learning. But I feel like the last sort of block here, or the obstacle or the doubt, is coming from, should I have more discernment? And we tap back into the mind, which is ego. I don't want to be foolish here. I don't want to be taken advantage of. So we know when we give love, it comes back to us tenfold. And there is nothing that can go wrong from giving love. The only thing that could stall out and tip us is when we start getting into mind and start to doubt. Okay, that's not authentic. Our authentic self is in the heart, and it only knows to be of service and to give love. This is the best discernment we can have over any situation. Okay, now if we feel taken advantage of or attached, that's now fear. Okay, that's more mind. That's not heart. So we're not attached. We're just presenting from the heart space and energy of service, like we would our child. We don't say, I fed you and took care of you for 18 years. Now it's your turn. That's not why we do it. I mean, some of you guys might want your children to take care of you, but to have that expectation is unrealistic. It's not why we have kids. Okay? Or like, I dressed you and fed you for a week straight. Now you can fill a shift for me at work. Like, no. Okay? And you could say, well, it's easy with my child, but I can't. Well, your child is connected to you, as is everybody else. Okay? As is everybody else. So this is learning about unity consciousness, how we are all tied. Okay? How we're all tied. We're all one. And so we don't need to be attached to anyone to seek them out to give, but we need to be in the energy of giving, of supporting. Okay? And this should be a flow that just happens. The more we do it, the more it becomes our natural state. We now get out of solar plexus energy, where there is more control of how we appear and getting the mind involved and starting to doubt, and just allowing things to sort of be in flow. And that's where the abundance starts to bloom. Abundance will bloom once we start to give, once we start to love, once we start to have compassion for all. Our journey starts to move, and we start to have victory and start seeing results, specifically when it comes to our spiritual gifts. So I feel like your top 3 chakras, okay, which really is the 2, because I mean, your crown chakra, you don't really control. This is just, you get downloads from the divine coming through your crown. But your third eye, your throat chakra, okay, this is what's starting to open up here as we lean into this heart consciousness. Heart consciousness here. So away from the mind. Let's take a look at the tarot and see what this message is to you. Spirit, clear and concise message here for, look at that spiritual transformation. We're now going from the lower 3 chakras to the top 3 into our spirituality. This is releasing all the things that we need to in order to make space for the new. Okay, Scorpio energy. Like your world is shifting here in a massive way with the Chariot and the Death. There's the Queen of Pentacles. So Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This one came flying at me. Knight of Swords. Why is the Death card here? Why is the Death card here, Spirit? 3 swords through the sorrow. There's the 2 wands. And I'm really getting the heart consciousness. And when the heart is going through the spiritual awakening, it could be a very painful process, this dark night of the soul. But this is where we can then create the abundance for ourselves. Look at that. So we have strength pulling through Leo energy. So Yeah, look, Page of Cups, heart opening. Heart opening. I always talk about this as the first stages of opening your heart. You know, innocent love, child love, opening that heart space, 7 Pentacles. So, yeah, I feel like you've been on this journey for a while, you know, but we are opening our heart space. And so this might come with a lot of pain. And this is why we have some doubt. It's like, should it feel, you know, should it feel the way it feels? Because it can feel quite bad when we're going through a spiritual awakening, when we're releasing and detaching. It's like, I want to be discerning, but sometimes the ego gets in there and the fear gets in there and it creeps in there. So it's like, no, press forward. Don't fear. You know, don't fear that you're going to be foolish or that giving more love or being compassionate isn't the way to go. Okay, this is how we're going to get to where we need to get to. And I feel like the choice is yours. The choice is always yours. You know, you can choose the wand of same old and remaining in whatever world you've created, or you could choose the path of taking action differently. And so I feel like the shifts already happen here with you. The heart's already opening. You know, you're going to be this person who's not needing anyone to really rely on at all. And this is really giving me heavy manifestation of birthing what you want in your world. You have control over the manifestation. You could birth what you want. You could rely on yourself and build what you need to. That choice is going to be yours. Okay? But I feel like right now it is a challenge because there is a lot of pain here and doubt and maybe not sure. You know, how do we press forward? But I feel like there's a don't back down. Allow your big heart to guide you here. You know, look at this butterfly with the transformation. Yeah, like you're certainly transforming here in a way that's opening this heart in a way you probably haven't experienced. So, final message for pile 2. What questions do they still have here? Can we give them any more guidance? It's going to make this message more clear. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Something does feel stuck for you. And I feel like it's, if you're feeling stuck, it's created by this doubt in this mind. So you're asked to allow yourself to move forward with this love, okay? Not to doubt it. Yeah, we're like, we could be guarded. We could be trying to protect ourselves. Like, I don't want to experience 3 swords, you know? And there's the Emperor and there's the Magician. Aries, Virgo, Gemini. So in order for you to manifest, and there's a need for you to allow yourself to get empowered when you need to get empowered, because the Emperor knows he could take action when it's time, knows he can manifest, has all the tools to do this, okay? But if he's too defensive, or if he's like in guarded energy, he can't freely create what he wants to create. Like he just naturally can protect himself here if challenges come. He has his shield here, and I feel like this is the universe saying, hey, like, if you block the universe by blocking yourself or like being in this defensive energy, there's no manifestation. But if you trust the universe to move you forward here, not be in blocked energy, you're in this Emperor energy, you're naturally protected here, okay, from anything that could create undue harm or hardship by, again, showing compassion. And there's the Strength card again. So this is the courage to face what we need to, not be hidden behind a 9 wands, okay? This is lots of passion, knowing when we need to be held back. But I feel like this energy for me is showing more this, yeah, like definitely the balance. But the balance here is in you going from doubting your own energy, doubting your own confidence, doubting what you're supposed to be doing, and then maybe shutting down and retreating and holding back. It's like, no, you don't have to hold back. Like, trust if it's coming from love and compassion. That's enough discernment here. Yeah, because I feel like you could get very stuck. And there's the Ace of Cups, opening the heart space. This is all about you having connection to your heart with this Ace of Cups, which will allow you to have a new beginning, your manifestation. Okay, know that the universe is protecting you, that you can take action when you need to. But the Emperor doesn't, like, he's very balanced, okay? He doesn't hide. He doesn't defend in a way here that retreats. He goes where he needs to, trusts that he can fend for himself and can take action where he needs to. But he doesn't yo-yo from, maybe I should, hide here for a bit or protect myself or not to trust my own action, because now we're impeding with the flow of the universe and we're being guided somewhere. So I feel like you could get stuck, okay? And you might feel stuck right now in this journey. And that's only from your own sort of accord, from not being confident and trusting yourself to allow yourself to move forward. That is the discernment. I can move forward. I can be confident to move forward. I am going to manifest. Look at the Hierophant here. Wow, beautiful. So we have to know what we value, and then we have to give love and compassion to it. That's it. So if we love it, if we want to commit to it, if we understand that it is something that we can dedicate ourselves to, we show love. Okay, there's nothing else we need to show. There's nothing else we need to defend or hide from here. That's all we're asked to do. Yeah, otherwise, I feel we could block some sort of manifestation that universe is wanting you to create here, that you can have success with. Like, you're the one who's creating this, you're by this journey, and it starts with this opening of the heart space and you getting very empowered here. Okay, so Taurus energy. Yeah, so look at that Queen of Cups, the heart space, showing compassion. Okay, this is the most compassionate card in the tarot. So we show love, we express love, we give love. This is no expectation of being of service. That's all you're asked to do. Okay, to what you're committed to what you value, to what you understand as something that is greater. If it's your devotion to spirituality, then that's what it is. There's no need for further discernment here. Okay, like, yes, discernment is good, but once you commit to it, once you understand it, allow the universe to flow you through it. Keep putting on the brakes, second guessing, giving doubt, and getting back into your solar plexus, because the solar plexus is going to want to take control. This is ego. Okay, it's going to want to make up mind stories, and then we get stuck. So that's your message, pile number 2. I hope this helped you. I know it's not everyone's reading, but that was for someone, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3, you guys picked the 6 of Fire, which is 6 wands. It's a success, recognition, and self-esteem. We'll get into this energy right away. So what are we looking at? I asked Spirit for your ascension journey, this enlightenment journey you're on, and to see, like, if you're stuck anywhere or just not sure where you're supposed to proceed. What is this bridge or this transition in which where you're at and where you're kind of supposed to be going? Okay, so whether you need to take action or maybe pause and reflect on something here that might keep you stuck, or that you're needing confirmation so that you can heal or move forward and ascend or do what it is that you're being called to do. Okay, now nothing's wrong, so wherever you're at is totally meant to happen, but this is the right time for you to hear whatever this message is, and if it provides you with some insight, then beautiful. I hope it resonates for you, okay? But not everyone's reading, so I totally get this. So I've pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at them. Do ask you use your intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile makes sense. We'll tap into this energy of the 6 of Wands. So you guys know when I see 6 wands, generally the first thing I say is ego, right? Because the 6 of Wands could be an ego card. It's really about how other people perceive us, It has a lot of meanings, though. Like the 6 of Wands could be we're in the public eye, we are being celebrated, we were having short victory, or we've accomplished something. It's kind of a quicker energy than that of the Chariot, because the Chariot also has similar energy of being successful. Okay, now the Chariot came out for pile 2 in the pick a card at the beginning, so you might resonate with that energy, because the energies are very similar. When I pulled both these cards, I was getting similar sort of energy, but this one, we'll see. We'll do the reading and see, if there's any sort of reason why maybe you should go there if you're pulled. But I feel like there's a lot of work here, if I got to be honest. I'm seeing the red, And red to me is root chakra. Okay, so blocks are generally in the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. So we could be working through some blocks. Okay, no, that's not a bad thing. That's good. You're here. We want to identify, and I'm seeing self-esteem here. Okay, so maybe there's some sort of way that we're perceiving ourself or don't want to be perceived that's impacting our self-esteem, or that could be impacting how we're taking action on something. I'm getting the Page of Wands, you know, like someone taking action on something, being able to explore or pursue the passion, maybe being passionately pulled to something and then talking ourselves out of it, or not being confident enough to do it in some way. You know, like, what if I'm not successful? How will I be perceived? Can I accomplish this in any way? Let's see what pulls through here. So we have appreciation. Interesting, because this is the recognition card. So it's being appreciated, having the accolades, being celebrated. 15 is the devil. Okay, the devil is sometimes toxic ways of being, mind patterns and things like this. We'll see if the devil pulls through. That's Capricorn energy, but appreciation. Okay, I am getting heavy ego, if I gotta be honest. Okay, so integration, 30. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Yes, so there is no negative and positive when it comes to good, bad. Okay, there's negative and positive, but there's no like good, bad. Okay, the universe is neutral. So there's just polarizing energy, masculine, feminine, negative and positive. But it's not necessarily, like I say, something we need to attribute judgment on. So healing, 29. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So number 11. 11 is a master number, divine inspiration, and the synchronicities and encouragement to keep going. Healing, 29. Okay. We have surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. So definitely getting, when we're in ego, we get in trigger mode. Okay, this is like acting on our instinct and our programming. Maybe we're integrating our ego. Here's the innocence. I'm getting hermit energy from this. So card number 19, innocence. And we have the rebirth with the skull, Scorpio energy. Wow, rebirth. Okay, we have determination, 21, with the Mushtika Mudra. Mushtika Mudra. Spiritual discipline, transformation, and willpower. My sense of positive determination arises from within. Yes. So this is the solar plexus. More ego. Okay, so the companion. And shaman of stars. Wow. Aquarius energy pulling through. Shaman of foresight. Okay. And we have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. There's the inner strength again. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So feeling a lot of pride, which is the ego energy in nature. And this is a time to absorb the healing properties that nature has to offer. Your mind, body, and soul need nourishment, energy, revitalization, and strength. Nature has much to offer. So take this time to connect and spend some quality time outdoors. This is butterfly about transformation, ancestral wisdom. We are your ancestors and we love you. We walk the earth many years before you. We ask you at this poignant time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy and we will keep you Sorry, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. Trust and forgiveness with 10. It's time for you to let down your guard and learn to trust again. Okay. Pile 3. It's not going to be everyone's message or pile. Okay, and I think in order for this pile to understand and actually heal and make some headway, they have to really be in an energy here of considering that this could be their energy. If we already know this isn't our energy, this is probably your energy. Okay, I'll say that again. If you don't think this is your pile, this is most likely your pile. Okay? I feel this energy is one that feels like they've done everything they sort of can here, okay? And that's natural. Of course we feel we've done everything we can here when it comes to the human capacity. And I feel like you're being called to ascend past this sort of mind energy of how you're generally engaged with the relationship and dealings in the matrix world. Okay, so if you're feeling still pulled by other people's reactions, other people, what they say and do, situations, and it could pull your emotions out of you in any way, this is your pile. Okay? So I feel like we're clearing blocks here, and the block here is in the lower chakra, specifically when it comes to the ego. The ego that attaches itself to an identity. Okay? And the identity here is one that thinks it's should attain or should be perceived or should be appreciated or should be seeing something in front of it in order for it to be confirmed. So I say it, I don't say it's you because you're not your ego. But if you identify heavily with the ego, you think that you should be more valued, that this person or this experience or this situation should do A, B, C, D, and all these things. Okay, but the situation isn't going to do any of those things. And even if it does, which it's not, okay, it's not going to, in whoever is resonating with this at the end being their pile, it's for this lesson specifically. The universe is removing all that validation and prop up that you would normally get accustomed to in a normal situation, normal, okay? So things are being pulled from us, and now we're lacking some sort of understanding. Why am I not appreciated? This has always sort of worked for me. I've always had success in this way. You know, why? Is because I feel like that version of you is being wiped away, so we can have a rebirth of a clean version of yourself that's not tainted by an experience of the matrix. No identity at all whatsoever. Okay, there's no identity here but who you are being in the present moment. Because if you're just being in the present moment, we don't have any drama. There's no pull to our emotion. We're not attached to any story. Okay, so I feel like this is starting from the inside. And the inside is where when we can observe without attaching and connecting and identifying with what's going on the inside, but just clearly observe it, we start to see through certain behaviors. We start to see certain things within us that we no longer want to identify with, that we now see as the cause of our pain, that we now see as our wall or the creator of the suffering or the identity that we've built for protection or for appreciation or to attain. So under that is a lot of fear, because I need to upkeep this sort of energy in order to be appreciated or valued or accepted or to win. Okay, But we don't. We don't need to upkeep nothing here. So I feel like the healing's happening, and when the healing happens, it's painful. Because it's a crumbling of a whole bunch of things in our world that don't really exist, but are created within us, that seem very real and are attached to the pain and the suffering that we're experiencing. So it's impacting our self-esteem. We're feeling sad, or feeling down, or feeling like we can't, or feeling like we failed, or we're feeling all sorts of ways. And so what becomes real is the story in front of us, you know? That job loss, that breakup, this situation is like the story. And so we're so focused on the story. Meanwhile, we need to detach from what's happening and be in observer mode from a higher level view and see this as like a speck. Okay, a speck that's happening in our world, but that there's so much more around us and within us that's going on. Okay, like for example, we're healing ancestral wounds that are happening. Okay, so we carry a whole lot of trauma. We carry a whole lot of energy that's been passed down to us through generations. Okay, and so we don't engage with understanding where this sits energetically in us. We're so focused on that relationship, that job, that experience, that we don't even see this part of it, okay? The part that is driving a lot of our actions, a lot of our addictions, a lot of our unhealthy ways of engaging that we're not even aware of because we're so close. We're so close to the ego. We need to create space so we can see it. Okay, so I feel like it begins with trusting and forgiving of self. Okay, and seeing from a higher view, not so close to the situation at hand, not so identified with the desire we have to be victorious or to achieve or to attain or to be treated in some certain way by an external source that feeds that ego, feeds that pride. Okay, and so now we integrate the self, okay, the self into the manifestation of what we're engaged with in the real world. So what's going on in the inside is now integrated. Okay, now when I say integrated, integration, because I know you guys aren't all at the same sort of place here, it's now when I'm confronted in that sort of same situation or that relationship or that argument or that disappointment, am I in ancestral trigger mode? You know, do I go and eat that sandwich or drink that alcohol or respond in the same snarly way or shut down like I normally do? Like this trigger response to the drama, we now catch it because we're integrating and we say, hey, myself, now that I could see, I've created space, I could see my ego in play, I could see how I normally react and respond, I could see a pattern here. Okay, I could see it, and now it's no longer going to be controlling me because I see it. It might be a program that repeats a few times. We catch it, and then we say, hey, I could see this. I'm going to integrate myself now. And when this happens, let's say someone triggers us or the situation is now fired up, I don't feel appreciation or I don't feel seen or I feel like it's let me down or I feel like I didn't get success. How do I respond? Okay, how do I respond? Now, this doesn't mean suppression, because some of you guys, that might be the way you deal with it, you know, and we're shut down. Like when we get blocked, we shut down. Okay, so how do we deal with it now? It's like, hey, this is familiar programming to me. How do I not do the same thing, but I align it with the authenticity of myself in order for me to heal? How I'm being manifested here in the 3D world. Okay, I know this is kind of layered here, but I feel like we need to take action on how we manifest ourselves and show ourselves in this world the way we truly are, not the way we've been programmed to be, not through traumas and programs and automatic responses, not so close to the ego where we're just chasing an endless desire of something that can pump out an outcome, because we'll forever need those types of outcomes to keep us fulfilled. So we cut it off. And we cut off the oxygen supply of the ego. And it's going to kick and scream and cause all sorts of chaos as we're being reborn without ego. We learn to trust and forgive our true self. It doesn't need identity. It doesn't need triggers and programs and protective things. The ego wants you to think you need it to survive, to protect you, to be in some sort of energy that will get you far, get you victory, get you some sort of appreciation. All it does is get you chasing your tail. All it does is provide you with suffering when you do get the appreciation, and then it falls short eventually. Or you do get the victory and then it's short-lived. Or you do experience the thing and then the thing isn't quite what it was that you wanted, or the novelty wears off. Okay, ego is an endless chase of suffering. So we don't want to identify with programs, okay? And so when we're very close to it, we don't recognize our own egos. This is what you're healing. And so we need to be very aware and have the foresight here before it happens. Because I feel like you're responding in a most likely in a relationship. And we're in a relationship with everything. A relationship with food. We're in a relationship with self. We're in a relationship with people. We're in a relationship with the environment. How are you in relationship to everything and everyone? And it starts with the relationship with self. Do I have a positive self-speak? Do I identify as something or someone that's not really me, that I've been thinking is me, or that I've been telling is me, or that I've been hanging on to as a version of self? We need the foresight, and we need to stop doing this. That's the programming. Okay, we need to get in front of it. Okay, so I feel like there's a desire with these stars here. And I feel like there is a rebirth. I feel like there's lots of healing. I feel like you're doing integration of the shadow. But I feel like there's a heavy ego still alive here, kicking around. Okay? So, we get in front of it. And that's what we're being called to do in the manifestation of our day-to-day. When we're about to respond. When we're about to take action. And so, sometimes the best way is after it's happened. To walk through in nature, to reflect on what's happened, and say, man, I reacted in this way or that way, and I could see it now after hindsight. And that's fine, as long as we don't judge it and beat ourselves up for it. Okay, but we also don't validate it and prop it up. Yeah, I had to because of this and that. So that's ego. And we just observe. Okay, and then it happens again. And how do we get in front of it? Now we see it happening because we've already reflected. We've already taken the time to be honest with what happened and what we saw as the ego self popping up or reacting. Okay, like I said, ego self could be pulling inwards or outwards. It doesn't really matter if it's an uncontrolled program thing stemmed from ego, where it wants control or it wants to be safe because it feels threatened. It's going to react the way it does. Okay. And this isn't very responsive, it's reactive. And so we got to keep getting in front of it, keep getting in front of it, keep getting in front of it until the integration is very visible. It's like I can now see the drama as it's happening. I don't feel pulled by my programming to deal with it in the same way. I now have the courage for me to speak in a way here that might be different or engage differently than how I normally do, and try that path. Okay, it's not forcing you to be someone you're not. It's like the courage to be in the energy of what your authenticity wants to deal with a situation and respond, not what the programming wants to react. You know, that's blind action here. So let's see what the tarot, and we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for pile 3. And what is it that pile 3 is needing to know about this journey, this ascension, this process. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. What more do they need to know here, Spirit? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. So we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Emperor, the 3 Wands clarified by the Moon. We have the Hermit in reverse, the Knight of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles, and we have Judgment. Under that, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the 3 Swords. Okay, so we have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Aries energy, Cancer, Pisces, more Virgo. Let me sit with this energy and see what it's communicating to you. Yeah. Okay. So, judgment. This is the point of reckoning here. You're being reborn here with the rebirth, okay? And this is sitting to see everything sort of clearly. We have to be objective here. We cannot not make excuses for self or make lies about this or prop things up in a certain way. Like, even if it's, we think we're doing it for the best of everyone, or we got to remove opinions, judgments, even though this is judgment. We remove all of that in order to make a decisive sort of action now, an action plan going forward based on truth. Okay, based on all of the things that have happened, we now act in a great truth. Okay, this is coming from the inside, not reactive, not ego. This is like a truthful action we can now take. I feel like it's in a situation that we couldn't quite take action on. Okay, it wasn't being built. Okay, it was something we couldn't really rely on. Maybe someone we couldn't rely on. It could certainly be with the companion in this King of Pentacles in reverse. Someone we were trying to build with or create something here of substance or long-term with the stars. Okay, I feel like the inner work needs to be done. Okay, and the inner work is always about identifying what's truly us, what is shadow, do I have integration, am I truly accountable for myself? What do I identify with? What am I attached to? How am I seeing the situation? How am I seeing myself? Never mind what's going on out there, okay? Because I feel like a lot of you guys might be looking externally, like this situation I can't rely on. This person isn't committing. I tried to build something, there's no long-term thing. How do I, like, this is all external ego stuff, okay? But once we start saying, how did I respond in that situation? Why did I react the way I did? How did I engage when I did? Was I fully present? Was that something I did because it hurt me? Is that really fear leading me? Am I really trying to attain something here? Is this, when I attain it, going to provide me with some sort of comfort or make me feel more valued? Like, these are the types of questions we haven't done. Okay, we haven't done this. So this I'm seeing clearly. Protect and attack. Defensive and offensive. This is ego, even though I never read these two as ego, although an emperor could certainly be egotistical. But this is like, emperor for sure is like, I have agency over self and my way, and I take control, and I'm empowered, and all of this sort of self-speak, and we could dress this up as great, you're empowered. So why are we externally focused on, I did all this work, I understand myself, I know when to take action. Okay, anyone who's gone through any sort of spiritual awakening or enlightenment knows that there's always work to be done. When we think we've conquered the ego, when we think we've done the work, we haven't. We have not. Okay, so we get to defensive. We think it's a boundary and we think it's healthy. And then we start to get offensive. And we start to do things, take action, and say things. But this is also driven by ego. We have to get in front of this. Okay, if we want to move on our journey and have forward movement, we have to dig further into the subconscious. Okay, things are stuck here in your divine plan path. It's stuck. You're not moving forward. There's things in the subconscious. And really, fear is at the helm. We might be dressing it up as empowerment. We might not know that we're in fear. We might think we have all good intentions, but it's the protective shield that keeps things out instead of looking at ourselves and saying, I'm trying to chase my happiness, you know? We're always looking at the clock, like, when's it going to be 5 o'clock and I'm off work? And then you're off work and they're like, oh, I can't wait to get home and sit on the couch. And then you do that and you're like, oh, can't wait till, I don't know, I'm in bed and finally get my rest. And then it's like, oh, I can't wait till tomorrow I'm done work. Like, we're constantly in this chase. Okay? We don't need to be in this chase. And so I feel like we have a block here. Okay? And I feel like we're putting this block here thinking that we're protecting ourselves. But I think we need to drop the block and we just need to observe. And I think we're being asked not to take action and just to observe. If we do take action and say things, which I think you will, observe it from a true like place of just watching. Okay, not casting judgment, but watching, and you're going to be surprised. Okay, this is where the true transformation is going to happen, where you're going to get movement now and growth. Because everything's going to come from the subconscious and you're going to feel it. Okay, lots of pain that's still stored here. It's the ancestral wounds here of how we deal with things that are reactionary. And then we can have the manifestation here, you know, but I feel it's going to be a dedicated forward progress. It's going to take some time to manifest this thing, but I feel like it's stuck right now. We can't sort of get on that ship of expansion, if you will, until we start to really look at this shadow work or the subconscious. You know, like we're going to be emotionally unsatisfied in a situation that's bringing us sadness, but instead of looking at why it didn't work or why it's unreliable or this sort of an energy, okay, we have to really bring it back to self and do this reflective work. You know, why am I responding the way I do with a defense mechanism here or a boundary here or a shut out of something? So I'm either rejecting, shutting out, trying to protect myself, and then I carry a mind speak or a story about why this is good or why I did this, and I feel empowered. I feel like I'm in control. We don't need control. The universe is in control. You're not letting the universe control because you feel like you have some sort of false sense of control. Although we know that the universe is always in control. Okay, we might like to think it's us, but when the mind is so stuck to the ego, that's all we see, and we really think we have control. And so this is why your journey and your ascension is stuck. So the universe really isn't stuck. The universe keeps on ticking. We can dance with the universe anyway. The universe is all around us, all abundant, happening all at once. Okay, but if we're so in our little world of control, we miss the dance with the universe. And so the universe says, okay, you're choosing this path. You're choosing the stuck path, the path that doesn't allow growth and expansion, because you want to play a role of being in control and that you could protect yourself and put up boundaries that provide control and manipulation in some way. And so you're defending your position. You might think your conversations are thoughtful or, you know, like really, I feel like you have justifications for why you say and do what you do. And that's great. Good. If that's where you want, then go ahead. But this reading is all about how can I get back on my path of ascension here and expand. And the universe is saying you're stuck here right now in defending with your defenses, and your offenses is all about what your mind thinks is the right thing to do or say, or to do something that you feel is going to fulfill an ego here that is an endless well. It is never fulfilled. It's never fulfilled. Okay, so the universe's dance is all about giving and being open to receive. So there's never a shield. Okay, there's never a shield because we're open to receive, or else we can't receive, and we're always giving. Okay, we're not taking, so it's not a give and a take. It's I give and I'm open to receive. Give, receive, give, receive. That's the flow of life. Okay, give and receive. So we don't attack. We don't use words to get what we want. Okay, we give from a heart space. We allow this transformation. We observe ourselves. We stay in tune with what's going on really in the subconscious. We heal wounds. We start to pull ourselves out of emotionally unsatisfying situations now because they don't control our emotions anymore. Right now, your emotions are being controlled by a set of circumstances here where you feel you need to defend, be empowered, take action, have communication, confront. No, you don't. That's drama. That's drama. That's the world of I'm in control. You're not. The universe is in control. Let it unfold as it does. All you're being asked to do is the work from the inside. Look at self. Be honest with what's going on in your subconscious, where the fears are really stem from. Where's this emotion coming from? You know, it's like, well, this person did it. No, emotions are never about the situation. Emotions go deeper than that. The situation is bringing out an emotion that has been there before the situation even arose. So it's not about the situation at all. The situation is reflecting back to you something going on in your subconscious that's been there for a long time. Ancestral wounds. And it sits there. And we just keep reacting in the same way as this sits there, thinking it's the situation, that person, this thing. You know, I'm going to block, I'm going to defend, I'm going to say, I'm going to act. Oh, now it's going good. Well, good, I had control. Oh, now I didn't. Like, it's an endless chase. It's like, no, let's heal this block, this subconscious block. Now when this thing happens, I don't need this shield. I've already cleared this block. Nothing's impacting me. I've removed these 3 swords from my heart. Now I can deal with situations and just be totally shield free. Not needing to say or do anything. It's just, it's already unfolding for me. I've already, I know thyself. The universe then says, yay, okay, now we flow in your journey in the right direction of expansion, healing, get what you want, but we need to see a greater truth of everything that we're engaged with and the one common denominator, which is self. How am I engaged? Not spend so much time on how other things are unfolding and not unfolding, or how other people are being and not being. Okay, even in the slightest. So this is your reading. I love you very much, and that's how it's going to help you. Okay, so you don't have to do it. Go ahead. Be engaged in the 3D. Engage in those situations if you want. That really isn't bad or good. That's just the path you're on here. Like I said, if this is, you clicked on this reading, is about your ascension, why you're on this journey, why does it hurt the way it does? You're being called to be reborn. The new earth, no longer dealing with egos. We don't need egos. Okay, we needed egos when we were like cavemen, when we were hunting, when it kept us alive. We don't need to deal with egos, in the corporate world and dog eat dog, and stepping over each other. We just need to give love. That's all we need to do. This ego is trying to put us above, keep us under some sort of illusion of control. And this causes suffering for you. So you don't want to suffer. You want to create and manifest. Then allow this process. But it's painful when the ego dies, because the ego wants to convince you of why it needs to protect you. You're not going to be seen or appreciated, or you're going to be left without the ego. Good. You don't need the ego. Don't let it convince you. It's trying to claw at its sort of place within you. Okay, be like this card here. So he's looking like the hermit. He's know thyself. I know he's innocent. Can engage in life. Things come to him. It's a beautiful energy. Free or wise. Fully enlightened. Okay? Beautiful pile 3. That's your reading. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.